What would you do if a dying veteran called you at 3 a.m. and asked you to complete one final mission? For Axel, that question wasn't hypothetical. It was a phone call that would send him on a 200-mile journey through a Montana blizzard, searching for a ghost, a military working dog that had been missing for 2 years. A dog that belonged to a dead soldier. A dog that was the last living connection between a dying father and his fallen son. This is the story of that mission, and why some promises are worth keeping, even when they seem impossible. Where are you watching this from right now? Drop your location in the comments. We love seeing our pack grow across the world. And if stories about loyalty, honor, and military bonds move you, hit that like button. You're going to need tissues for this one. Now, let's begin. The call came at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday in March. Axel woke to his phone vibrating on the wooden nightstand. Ash and Frost lifted their heads from where they slept at the foot of his bed, alert but calm. He checked the screen. Unknown number. Out here, unknown numbers at 3 a.m. meant one thing: emergency. This is Axel. Axel Martinez? The voice was old, rough, struggling for breath between words. Yeah, who's this? Marcus Brennan, Vietnam, 1st Cavalry. We met 4 months ago, at your cabin. Axel sat up, fully awake now. He remembered Marcus, late 60s, gray beard, eyes that had seen too much. He'd driven up alone, sat with Frost for 3 hours, and left without saying much beyond thank you. I remember, Marcus, you okay? A long pause, breathing, then, No, I'm not okay, I'm dying. Axel's chest tightened. Where are you? VA hospital, Billings, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. They gave me 2 weeks, maybe less. I'm sorry. Don't be. I've made my peace. Another labored breath. But I need to ask you something, a favor. My last mission. Axel stood, walking to the window. Moonlight painted the snow silver. Ash followed, pressing against his leg. What do you need? My son, Danny, he was Army, K-9 handler, deployed to Afghanistan in 2019. Marcus's voice cracked. He didn't make it home, IED, May 2021. I'm sorry for your loss. He had a dog, German Shepherd named Rex, military working dog. They were like you and yours, inseparable. Axel looked down at Ash, thought about what it would mean to lose him. After Danny died, Rex came back. They retired him, sent him to me. Marcus coughed, a wet rattling sound. But I couldn't take care of him. I was drowning. Grief, pain. I could barely take care of myself. Axel understood that feeling, the weight that made everything impossible. What happened to Rex? He ran away 2 years ago. Just disappeared one night. I looked for weeks, put up flyers, called shelters, nothing. Marcus's breathing was getting worse. I gave up, figured he was dead, figured I'd failed Danny one more time. Marcus, but 3 days ago someone called me, said they saw a dog matching Rex's description, old German Shepherd, limping, living in the woods near Glacier National Park, avoiding people. Axel's mind was already calculating. Glacier was 200 miles north, rough terrain, still deep in snow. You want me to find him? Yes, find him, bring him to me. I need... Marcus's voice broke completely. I need to say goodbye to something of Danny's before I die. Axel looked at the clock, 3:17 a.m., looked at Ash and Frost, looked out at the darkness and snow. Every logical part of his brain said this was impossible. A dog missing for 2 years in Montana wilderness, probably dead, and even if alive, finding him would be like finding a needle in a forest. But Marcus wasn't asking for logic, he was asking for hope, for closure, for one last mission. When did they see him? 2 days ago, near a place called Whitefish Trail, east side of the park. That's a lot of ground to cover. I know, but you're the only one I could call, the only one who'd understand. Axel was quiet for a moment. Ash nudged his hand, looking up with those knowing eyes. Okay, Axel said, I'll find him. You will? Marcus's voice cracked with something Axel hadn't heard in it before. Hope. I'll leave it first light. I'll need a description. Photos if you have them, everything you know about Rex's habits. I'll text it all to you. God, Axel, thank you, thank you. Don't thank me yet. This is a long shot, Marcus. I know, but it's a shot. That's more than I had an hour ago. They talked for another 10 minutes. Marcus sent photos, details. Rex was 8 years old now, black and tan, military tattoo in his ear, scar on his right shoulder from shrapnel, trained in protection and patrol, smart, loyal, broken by loss just like Marcus. When Axel hung up, he stood in the dark cabin for a long moment. Frost came over, sat beside Ash at his feet, both dogs looking up at him. "We're going on a trip, boys," Axel said quietly. "A hard one." Ash's tail wagged once. Frost tilted his head. "We're going to find a brother who's been lost a long time." By dawn, Axel had his truck loaded. Camping gear, cold weather equipment, food for him and the dogs, first aid kit, sat phone, maps of Glacier National Park. He'd called Dr. Reeves, told her where he was going and why. "That's a huge area, Axel, and if this dog has been wild for 2 years, I know. He might not want to be found." "I know that too." She was quiet. Then, "You're going anyway." "A dying man asked me to. What else am I supposed to do?" "Be careful. Check in every day." "Will do." He'd also called Maria, his training partner. "You're insane," she said flatly. "You know that, right?" "Probably." Glacier in March is still winter, avalanche risk, wildlife, and you're chasing a ghost dog. Not a ghost. Rex is alive. You don't know that. I know what hope sounds like, Maria. That man is dying. If there's even a chance, then you have to try. Yeah, I get it. She sighed. Take Ash and Frost? Yeah, if Rex is out there, maybe he'll respond to other dogs. Military working dogs recognize each other. Maybe, or maybe he's too far gone. Then I'll deal with that when I find him. The drive north took 4 hours. Axel pushed through early morning snow, the highway empty, the world still asleep. Ash and Frost rode in the back seat, calm and patient. They'd done road trips before. They knew this was work. As the sun rose, Axel thought about Marcus's son, Danny Brennan, 24 years old when he died, K9 handler, someone who'd chosen the same bond Axel had, man and dog, working together, trusting completely, someone who died doing it. And Rex, 8 years old now, he'd lost his handler 3 years ago. Been sent to a grieving father who couldn't cope, then lost that too when he ran. 2 years alone in the wilderness, surviving, but not living, just like Axel had been before Ash and Frost found him. We'll find him, Axel said to the dogs, to himself, to Marcus lying in a hospital bed 200 miles away. We'll bring him home. Whitefish Trail was exactly as described, vast, dense forest on the eastern edge of Glacier National Park. Axel parked at the ranger station, checked in, told them what he was doing. The ranger, a woman in her 40s named Sarah, looked skeptical. You're looking for a dog that's been missing 2 years? Yes. In this? She gestured at the snow-covered wilderness beyond the window. Yes. Sir, we get dozens of reports of mystery dogs every year. Wolves, coyotes, people's imagination. This one's real. Military working dog, trained. There's a tattoo in his ear. Sarah's expression shifted slightly. Military? Yeah, his handler was KIA, Afghanistan. She was quiet for a moment, then pulled out a map. Okay. If I were a dog trying to survive alone, I'd stay near water, probably somewhere with natural shelter, caves, overhangs. She marked several spots. These areas have all three: water, shelter, game for hunting. Start there. Thank you. Be careful. We've had grizzly sightings. They're waking up from hibernation, hungry and aggressive. Axel nodded. He had his rifle. He'd be careful. One more thing, Sarah said. If this dog has been wild for 2 years, he's not a pet anymore. He's survival mode. He might not trust humans, might not even remember what he was. I know. And if he's too far gone, I'll handle it. She looked at him for a long moment, seemed to recognize something. You're military too. Was. Then you understand. Sometimes the kindest thing is letting them go. Axel met her eyes. I understand. But I'm not giving up before I try. Sarah nodded. Good luck. The search began. Axel, Ash, and Frost moved through the wilderness like a team, systematic, methodical. They checked the first 3 locations Sarah had marked, found tracks, deer, elk, smaller predators, but no dog. By afternoon, they'd covered 10 miles. Nothing. As the sun began to set, Axel made camp near a frozen creek. He'd brought photos of Rex, studied them in the firelight. A strong, healthy military working dog, alert eyes, proud posture. What would he look like now, after 3 years and 2 of them alone? Axel fed Ash and Frost, set up his tent, lay in his sleeping bag thinking, what if this was hopeless? What if Rex was dead? What if Axel drove back to tell a dying man he'd failed? Ash crawled into the tent, lay beside him. Then Frost. Both dogs pressed close, like they knew what he was thinking, like they were saying, "We're here, keep going." Axel closed his eyes. Tomorrow they'd search the northern section, and the day after, the west. He'd search until he found Rex, or until there was nowhere left to look, because some missions don't end until they're complete, and some promises are worth keeping, even impossible ones. Day 2 started before sunrise. Axel woke to Frost's low growl, a warning sound he'd learned meant something was nearby. He grabbed his rifle, unzipped the tent. The forest was still dark. Snow falling gently. Everything quiet except fresh tracks, large canine tracks, leading past their camp, close, maybe 20 feet away. Axel's heart raced. He examined them with his flashlight. Definitely dog, too big for coyote, wrong pattern for wolf. And the gait, it showed a limp, right rear leg dragging slightly. Rex's injury was on his right shoulder. That would affect his gait. He was here, Axel whispered to Ash and Frost. Last night. Watching us. The dog sniffed the tracks, alert but not aggressive, recognizing another dog, not a threat. Axel followed the trail. It led north toward a rocky outcrop Sarah had marked on his map. Heavy forest cover, natural caves formed by granite shelves, perfect hiding spot. By full daylight, they were tracking. The prints were clear in the fresh snow. Rex was moving with purpose, not running, but not casual either, covering ground. After 2 miles, the tracks led to a frozen stream, disappeared in the rocky bed, classic evasion technique, something a trained military dog would know. Smart boy, Axel muttered, but not smart enough. He spread out, searching both banks, found the trail again 50 yards downstream. Rex had walked in the water, exited on rocks to avoid leaving prints, then continued. But he'd made one mistake, a single paw print in mud where the bank was soft. Got you. They followed. By noon, they'd tracked Rex to the rocky outcrop, a granite formation with multiple caves and overhangs, dense pine forest providing cover, creek nearby for water. If Axel were a dog trying to disappear, this is exactly where he'd go. Stay close, he told Ash and Frost. They moved carefully into the area. Axel found more signs. Old bones from kills, rabbit, deer, scat that was definitely canine, a worn path between the caves and water. Someone lived here. "Rex," Axel called, his voice echoing off rock. "Rex, I'm here to help." Nothing. He tried again, louder. "Rex, your handler was Danny Brennan. Danny." Still nothing. But then Ash's ears pricked forward, staring at a dark cave entrance 30 yards away. Frost growled, not aggressive. Warning, something was in there. "Rex," Axel called softly. "It's okay, boy. I'm not here to hurt you." A sound from the darkness, low, rumbling, a growl. Axel's hand went to his rifle. Not to shoot, just ready. "Easy, boy, easy." He pulled out one of Marcus's photos, held it up. "This is Danny, your handler. You remember Danny?" The growling stopped. Silence. Then, movement. A shape emerged from the cave entrance, and Axel's breath caught. It was Rex, but not the dog from the photos. This Rex was gaunt, ribs visible through matted fur, coat filthy and tangled with burrs and mud, one ear torn, probably from a fight. The limp was pronounced, right rear leg clearly damaged, but it was his eyes that hit Axel hardest. They were haunted, wild. The eyes of an animal that had forgotten it was once something more. The eyes Axel had seen in his own mirror 2 years ago. "Hey, Rex," Axel said softly. "I found you." Rex stood 20 feet away, not approaching, not running, just watching, calculating. Ash whined softly, a friendly sound. Rex's eyes flicked to him, then to Frost. Recognition? Maybe. Military working dogs trained together. They knew their own. These are my partners, Axel said, gesturing to Ash and Frost. They're good boys, like you. Rex's stance shifted slightly, less aggressive, still cautious. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here because of Marcus. At the name, Rex's ears moved, just slightly. He remembered. Marcus is sick, Rex. He's dying, and he asked me to find you. He wants to see you one more time. Rex stared at him. I know you ran. I know why. The pain was too much. Losing Danny, then losing everything familiar. I get it. Axel took a slow step forward. Rex growled, warning. Axel stopped, raised his hands. Okay, we'll do this your way. He sat down in the snow, deliberately non-threatening. Ash and Frost sat too, flanking him. We're not going anywhere, Rex. We'll wait, however long it takes. They waited 3 hours. Axel didn't move, didn't push, just sat, talking occasionally, softly, telling Rex about Marcus, about Danny, about the mission, about how sometimes the hardest thing isn't fighting, it's coming back. Rex stayed at the cave entrance, watching. But slowly, so slowly, his posture changed, less tense, less ready to bolt. After 2 hours he lay down, still watching, but resting. After 3 hours, Ash stood, walked slowly toward Rex. Axel tensed, ready to call him back, but Ash moved with pure canine intelligence. No threat, just curiosity. He stopped 10 feet from Rex, sat, tilted his head. Rex stared at him. Then, did something Axel hadn't expected. He play-bowed, the universal canine invitation, front legs down, rear up, tail, what was left of it, moving slightly. Ash bowed back, and just like that, the tension broke. Frost joined them, the 3 dogs sniffing each other, not playing yet, but communicating. Dog language, older than any human words. Axel stayed still, letting them work it out. After 10 minutes, Rex looked at him, made a decision, limped forward, stopped 5 feet away. Axel slowly extended his hand, palm up, non-threatening. Hey boy, it's okay, Rex sniffed, cautious, every muscle ready to bolt, but he didn't run. He sniffed Axel's hand, his jacket, taking in the scent. Then, so gentle it almost broke Axel's heart, Rex rested his head on Axel's knee, just for a second, before pulling back, but it was enough. Yeah, Axel whispered, voice thick. You're a good boy. You've been alone too long. He slowly reached into his pack, pulled out food, military-grade dog food, the kind Rex would have eaten on deployment, offered it. Rex's nose twitched, recognition. He took the food, carefully, ate slowly, like he was remembering something. That's it. You remember this. You remember who you were. Axel fed him more, not too much. Didn't want to make him sick after surviving on wild game. While Rex ate, Axel examined him from a distance. The injuries were bad. The ear needed cleaning, the leg needed x-rays. He was severely underweight, but he was alive. And he was here. We need to get you to a vet, buddy. Get you cleaned up. Then we're going to see Marcus. At the name, Rex's ears pricked again. Definitely remembered. He's waiting for you. He never stopped thinking about you. Rex finished eating, looked at Axel, then at Ash and Frost, then back at the cave, his home for 2 years. Axel could see the conflict, the pull between wild survival and old memories, between freedom and belonging. I know it's scary, Axel said softly. Coming back, trusting again, I know. He thought about his own cabin, his own isolation, the night Ash and Frost showed up. But you don't have to be alone anymore. You've fought long enough. Rex stared at him with those haunted eyes, and Axel saw the exact moment something shifted. The wildness didn't leave. But something else appeared beneath it. Recognition, purpose, home. Rex took a step forward, then another, walked to Axel, sat beside him, and leaned against his leg, the way Ash and Frost did when Axel had nightmares, the way military working dogs comforted their handlers. That's it, Axel said, his hand gently touching Rex's matted fur. You remember, you're not just a survivor, you're a soldier. Getting Rex to come willingly took the rest of the day. Axel didn't force it, didn't use leashes or commands, just walked, slowly, back toward the trail. Ash and Frost flanked Rex, keeping him calm, showing him it was okay. Rex followed, limping, cautious, but following. When they reached the truck, Rex balked, too confined, too human, too much. Okay, Axel said. We'll do it differently. He opened all the doors, made the truck as open as possible, put Ash and Frost inside, let Rex see them settle, then waited. It took 20 minutes. But finally Rex jumped in, settled between Ash and Frost, like he was part of a pack again. Good boy, Axel said quietly. Good boy. He drove slowly, carefully, talking to the dogs, telling Rex where they were going, who was waiting. Rex didn't respond, but his eyes tracked Axel's voice, listening, remembering. They stopped at Dr. Reeves's clinic in Timber Ridge. She was waiting. Axel had called ahead. My God, she breathed when she saw Rex. He's really alive. Barely. She examined him while Axel held him steady. Rex tolerated it, barely. But with Ash and Frost present, he didn't bolt. Malnutrition, dehydration, infected ear, that leg, old break that healed wrong, probably shrapnel damage that never got treated. He's in pain. Can you help him? Yes, but it'll take time. Antibiotics, surgery maybe, lots of care. How long before he can travel? Travel? Axel, he needs to stay here for how long? Dr. Reeves saw the look in his eyes. Understood. 2 days, minimum. IV fluids, antibiotics, clean him up. That's the best I can do. Then we have 2 days. Because Marcus had maybe 2 weeks, and every day counted. You're really taking him to see Marcus? It's why I went looking for him. Dr. Reeves looked at Rex, at his haunted eyes, his broken body. He might not remember. 2 years is a long time for a dog. He remembers. I saw it. She nodded slowly. Okay, 2 days, then he's yours. That night, Axel called Marcus from the clinic parking lot. I found him. Silence on the other end. Then, a sound Axel had never heard from the old veteran, crying. You found him? Rex, you're sure? I'm sure. Military tattoo, right ear, scar on his shoulder. It's him. Is he okay? Axel looked through the clinic window at Rex, lying on a veterinary table while Dr. Reeves worked. He's hurt, scared, been alone a long time, but he's alive, and I'm bringing him to you. When? 2 days. He needs medical care first. I might not have 2 days. Marcus's voice was so weak, so tired. Yes, you do, Axel said firmly. You hold on. You hear me? Rex made it 2 years in the wilderness. You can make it 2 more days. A shaky breath. Okay, I'll try. You'll do it, because Rex is coming home, and he needs you to be there. After he hung up, Axel sat in his truck, Ash and Frost in the back seat, Rex visible through the clinic window, and Axel realized something. This mission wasn't just about finding a lost dog, it was about reconnecting broken pieces. Rex to Marcus, a father to his son's memory, a warrior to his purpose, the same reconnection that had saved Axel's life when 2 frozen puppies showed up at his door. 2 more days, he whispered. Then we finish this. The 2 days at Dr. Reeves' clinic transformed Rex. Not completely. The wildness was still there in his eyes, the wariness, the survival instinct that had kept him alive. But beneath it, something else was emerging. Memory, purpose. On the first day, Dr. Reeves cleaned his wounds, treated the infected ear, started IV antibiotics and fluids. Rex tolerated it, barely, but only because Axel stayed with him the entire time, and Ash and Frost never left his side. He trusts you, Dr. Reeves observed. That's remarkable considering where you found him. He doesn't trust me, Axel corrected. He trusts them. He gestured to Ash and Frost lying on either side of Rex on the clinic floor. Dogs understand each other, and military working dogs, they recognize their own. Rex's head rested on Ash's back, his breathing steady, calm. For the first time in 2 years, he wasn't alone. By the second day, Rex was stronger, still underweight, still injured. But his eyes were clearer, more alert. Dr. Reeves showed Axel the x-rays of his leg. See here? Old fracture. Probably from the same blast that gave him the shoulder scar. It healed wrong, that's why he limps. Surgery could help, but after we see Marcus. Axel, this dog needs, I know what he needs. But right now, what he needs most is closure. So does Marcus. Dr. Reeves studied him. You really believe that? That a dog needs closure? I know he does. I've seen it in his eyes. He's been looking for something for 2 years, running from pain, just like I was. He looked at Rex. He needs to go back, one more time, to say goodbye properly. Dr. Reeves nodded slowly. Okay, but take these. She handed him bottles of antibiotics and pain medication, and if he gets worse, I'll bring him back, I promise. That evening, Axel loaded all 3 dogs into his truck. Ash and Frost jumped in eagerly. Rex hesitated, then followed. Progress. The drive to Billings would take 5 hours. They'd leave at dawn. That night, Axel stayed in a motel near the clinic. All 3 dogs on the floor beside the bed. Axel couldn't sleep. His mind kept playing through scenarios. What if Marcus had already died? What if Rex didn't remember him? What if this whole mission was for nothing? Around 2 a.m., he felt movement. Rex had gotten up, walked to the window, stood staring out at the darkness. Axel watched him. The dog's posture was tense, conflicted, still deciding whether to stay or run. I know what you're thinking, Axel said quietly. Rex's ears flicked back, listening. You're thinking it's easier out there, alone, no one to lose, no one to disappoint. Rex remained still. But that's not living, Rex. That's just surviving. And you're more than a survivor. Axel sat up, moved to the window beside him. Danny chose you, trained with you, trusted you with his life. You did your job. You protected him as long as you could. Rex's head lowered slightly. And when he died, it wasn't your fault. Just like when my team died, it wasn't mine. Axel's voice caught. But we keep carrying it. Like we could have done more. Like we should have died too. He placed his hand gently on Rex's head. But Danny wouldn't want that. He'd want you to live, really live, not just exist in the woods alone. Rex looked up at him, those haunted eyes meeting Axel's haunted eyes. 2 warriors, both broken, both trying to find their way back. Come with me tomorrow, see Marcus, say goodbye, and then... Axel took a breath. Then you decide. If you want to go back to the wild, I won't stop you. But if you want to stay, if you want to be part of something again, we'll be here. Rex stared at him for a long moment, then walked back to where Ash and Frost were sleeping, lay down between them, and stayed. They left at dawn. The drive to Billings was quiet. Axel played soft music. Country roads rolled past. Snow-covered mountains gave way to plains. Rex spent most of the drive looking out the window, watching the world he'd left behind reappear. Around noon, Axel's phone rang. Hospital number. His heart dropped. This is Axel. Mr. Martinez? This is Nurse Chen from Billings, VA. You're listed as Marcus Brennan's emergency contact? Yes, is he... He's still with us, but he's declining rapidly. If you're planning to visit, I'd suggest coming soon. I'm 2 hours out. Tell him... Axel's voice caught. Tell him Rex is coming. Tell him to hold on. I will. Axel pushed the speed limit the rest of the way. Billings VA Hospital was a low-slung building on the edge of the city. Axel parked in the visitor lot, looked at the 3 dogs in his truck. Okay, this is probably against hospital rules, but I don't care. He'd brought Rex this far. He wasn't leaving him in the truck. He attached leads to all 3 dogs. Ash and Frost wore their therapy dog vests, official and approved. Rex wore nothing but a borrowed collar. They walked through the main entrance. A security guard looked up, started to object. Therapy dogs, Axel said firmly, gesturing to Ash and Frost's vests. Visiting a veteran. The guard looked at Rex, clearly not a registered therapy dog, but maybe he saw something in Axel's expression. Or maybe he was a veteran too. Room 347, 3rd floor, hospice wing. Thank you. They took the elevator up. The hospice wing was quiet, peaceful, the kind of peace that comes at the end. Axel found room 347. The door was open, and there, in a hospital bed surrounded by machines and tubes, was Marcus. He looked so much worse than 4 months ago, skeletal, gray, fading, but his eyes were open, and when he saw them in the doorway, when he saw Rex, something happened. Life flooded back into those dying eyes. Rex? His voice was barely a whisper. Rex stood frozen in the doorway, staring. Axel felt the dog's body tense, ready to bolt. Easy, boy, easy. Marcus raised one shaking hand. Rex, come here, boy. Rex didn't move. Axel knelt beside him. He's sick, Rex, but he's the same Marcus. He remembers you. He never stopped looking. Rex whined, a sound of confusion, pain. I know it's hard, but this is why we came. This is goodbye. Slowly, so slowly, Rex walked into the room, each step deliberate, cautious. Ash and Frost flanked him, supporting. Rex reached the bed. Marcus's hand trembled as he reached down, touched Rex's head. There you are, Marcus whispered. There's my boy, Danny's boy. At Danny's name, Rex's ears flattened. A sound came from him, not a whine, not a growl, a mourning sound. Marcus started crying. I know, boy. He's gone, but you're here. You made it. Rex pressed his face against Marcus's hand, and something Axel hadn't seen in 2 years of wilderness survival. Rex cried, not human tears, but the dog equivalent, whining, shaking, pressing close, grieving, finally allowed to grieve. Good boy, Marcus whispered. You're such a good boy. Danny was so proud of you. Marcus's other hand fumbled at his nightstand, pulled out something. Danny's dog tags. These are his. I want you to have them. He tried to loop them around Rex's collar, hands too weak. Axel stepped forward, did it for him. The tags hung against Rex's chest, proof of who he belonged to, who he'd always belonged to. Marcus lay back, exhausted but peaceful. Thank you, he said to Axel. Thank you for bringing him. It was an honor. Will you... Marcus's breathing was labored. Will you take care of him after? Axel looked at Rex, at the broken, wild, beautiful warrior of a dog. Yes, if he'll let me. He will. You speak the same language. Marcus closed his eyes. Can they stay, just for a while? As long as you want. They stayed 2 hours. Rex never left Marcus's side, lay on the floor beside the bed, head resting on the mattress where Marcus's hand could reach. Ash and Frost lay nearby, quiet, understanding. This was sacred space. Nurse Chen came in once, saw the dogs, started to say something about regulations, then saw Marcus's face, peaceful, content, no longer in pain, and left without a word. Around 4 p.m., Marcus woke. Axel, I'm here. I want to tell you about Danny. And for the next hour, Marcus talked about his son, the boy who'd loved dogs since he was 5, who'd joined the army to serve, who'd become a canine handler because he said dogs were more loyal than most people, who'd sent letters from Afghanistan talking about Rex, how smart he was, how brave, how they'd saved each other's lives more than once, who'd died doing what he loved. He wouldn't want Rex to suffer, Marcus said. He'd want him to live, to have a purpose. He will. Marcus looked at Axel, really looked. You saved him, just like those puppies saved you. Axel was quiet. We save each other. That's what we do. Marcus smiled. Yeah, that's what we do. His hand found Rex's head one more time. You're free now, boy. Free to live. Make Danny proud. Rex whined softly, understanding in a way only dogs can. They left as evening fell. Marcus had fallen asleep, peaceful, breathing steady. The nurse said it could be hours, could be days, but he'd seen what he needed to see, said what he needed to say. The mission was complete. In the parking lot, Axel stood with 3 dogs in the fading light. You did good, Rex. You said goodbye. Rex sat, looking back at the hospital, then at Axel, then at Ash and Frost, making his decision. He walked to the truck, jumped in. Not running away this time, choosing. On the drive back, Axel called Dr. Reeves. How'd it go? He remembered. They both got closure. And Rex? Axel looked in the rearview mirror. Rex was sleeping between Ash and Frost, Danny's tags gleaming on his chest. Rex is coming home. Marcus Brennan died 3 days later, peaceful, in his sleep. The hospital called Axel, asked if he'd take Danny's personal effects that Marcus had been keeping. Axel drove back to Billings. They gave him a box. Inside, Danny's uniform, photos, letters, and one more thing, Danny's canine handler patch. Axel brought it home, showed it to Rex. This was his. He earned it with you. Rex sniffed it, whined, remembering. Axel attached it to Rex's new therapy dog vest, the one Dr. Reeves had ordered. "You're going to wear this now. Honor his memory by helping others." Rex looked at him with those still haunted eyes, but now there was something else there too. Purpose. The following week, Rex joined Ash and Frost in their work. The first veteran who met him was a young Marine, barely 23, haunted eyes, PTSD. "That dog looks like he's been through hell," the Marine said. "He has," Axel replied. "Lost his handler in Afghanistan. Survived 2 years alone in the wilderness." The Marine stared at Rex. "And he's okay now?" "He's getting there. One day at a time." The Marine knelt down. Rex approached slowly. Let the young veteran touch his scarred fur. "If he can make it back," the Marine whispered, "maybe I can too." "Yeah," Axel said. "Maybe you can." That night, Axel sat on his porch. 3 German shepherds at his feet. Ash, the fighter who'd scratched at his door frozen and dying. Frost, the gentle soul who'd trusted him from the start. And now Rex, the warrior who'd been lost and found his way home. "We're a pack now," Axel said. "All of us broken, all of us healing." Rex's tail thumped once against the wooden boards, still learning to trust, still carrying scars, but no longer alone, no longer just surviving, living. Because some missions don't end when the war does. They end when you find your way back, to purpose, to connection, to pack. 6 months after Marcus Brennan's death, Axel received a package. No return address, just a postmark from Virginia. Inside, a folded American flag, the kind given at military funerals, and a letter. "Dear Axel, you don't know me. My name is Sarah Brennan. I'm Marcus's daughter, Danny's sister. Dad told me about you before he died, about what you did, how you found Rex, how you brought them back together. I wasn't there. I live across the country. Work kept me away. Excuses kept me away. I hadn't seen my father in 2 years, hadn't visited Danny's grave in longer. I was drowning in my own guilt, my own pain. Easier to stay away than face it. But Dad's last call to me changed everything. He said, I gotta say goodbye to part of Danny, because a stranger cared enough to complete an impossible mission. He said you gave him peace in his final days, peace he hadn't felt since we lost Danny. That flag was draped over Dad's casket. I want you to have it, because you gave him something his own daughter couldn't, closure. Thank you for bringing my brother's dog home. Thank you for giving my father one last moment of joy. And thank you for showing me that it's never too late to come back, to face the pain, to heal. I'm visiting Danny's grave next month for the first time in 3 years. Because if Rex can come back from 2 years in the wilderness, I can come back from 2 years of running. With gratitude, Sarah Axel read the letter 3 times. Rex lay at his feet watching. You did that, Axel told him. You helped more than just Marcus. Rex's tail thumped softly. Axel carefully folded the flag, placed it on the mantel beside another flag, his own, from his service. 2 flags, 2 generations, one unbroken chain of service and sacrifice. Rex's integration into the therapy program wasn't easy. The first month, he was reactive, unpredictable. His wilderness survival instincts would kick in at unexpected sounds. A door slamming would send him into alert mode. A raised voice would make him bare his teeth. He was broken in ways that time alone wouldn't fix. But Axel understood broken. He worked with Rex every day, patient, consistent, never forcing, teaching him that inside was safe, that humans could be trusted, that he had a job worth doing. Slowly, so slowly, Rex began to change. The reactivity decreased, the wariness softened, the haunted look in his eyes faded to something else. Wisdom. By month 3, Rex was working alongside Ash and Frost, and something remarkable became clear. Rex connected with the hardest cases, the veterans no one else could reach, the ones with the deadest eyes, the heaviest trauma, the deepest scars. They saw themselves in him, a warrior who'd been to hell and somehow found his way back. One veteran in particular changed everything. His name was Tyler, 26 years old, Marines, 2 tours in Iraq. He'd been at Axel's cabin for 3 weeks, made progress with Ash and Frost, but still wouldn't talk about what happened over there. One afternoon, Tyler was sitting alone on the porch, staring at nothing. Rex walked over, sat beside him. Tyler looked down at the scars on Rex's body, the torn ear, the limp, the signs of survival. "You've seen some shit, haven't you, boy?" Rex just looked at him. "Yeah, me too." Tyler was quiet for a long moment. Then, "I lost my whole squad. IED, I was the only one who walked away." His voice cracked. "I keep asking why. Why me? Why did I survive when they didn't?" Rex pressed closer, head resting on Tyler's leg. "Everyone tells me it's not my fault, that I did everything I could. But it doesn't feel that way." Tyler's hand found Rex's scarred fur. "How do you do it? How do you keep going after losing everything?" Rex, of course, didn't answer, but he didn't need to. His presence was the answer. You keep going because there's still work to do. You keep going because others need you. You keep going because survival isn't enough. You have to find purpose in the surviving. Tyler sat with Rex for 2 hours. When he finally stood to leave, something had shifted in his face. "Thanks, boy," he whispered. "I think I get it now." 2 months later, Tyler enrolled in college, got a dog of his own, a rescue with trauma history, sent Axel a photo, Tyler and his dog both smiling. The caption, "We're healing together." By the 1-year anniversary of Marcus's death, Rex had helped over 50 veterans. Axel decided to do something to honor it. He contacted Sarah Brennan. "I want to create something, a memorial, for Danny and Marcus, and for Rex's journey." "What did you have in mind? A scholarship? For veterans who want to become K9 handlers? Or for military working dogs who need retirement placement, called the Brennan Legacy Fund?" Sarah was quiet. Then, "Dad would love that. Danny would love that. Will you help me set it up?" "I'll do more than that. I'll fund it. I have money from Dad's estate. This is exactly what it should go toward." Within 3 months, the Brennan Legacy Fund was established. The first recipient was a young Army specialist named Maya. She'd lost her K9 partner in Afghanistan. Couldn't afford the training to work with dogs again. The scholarship covered everything. At the award ceremony, Rex was there. Maya knelt in front of him, touched his scarred fur. "I heard your story, how you survived, how you came back." Rex looked at her with those wise, knowing eyes. "I'm going to do that too, come back, because of what you and this fund made possible." She hugged him, and Axel saw it again. That moment of connection, of understanding, of one broken soul recognizing another and saying, "You're not alone." The news story about the fund went viral. Not because of the money, because of Rex's story. A military working dog, lost his handler, survived alone, found again, now saving others. Within a week, Axel's phone was flooded with calls, other veterans wanting to start similar programs. Families of fallen K9 handlers asking for help finding retired military dogs. Shelters asking if he'd take difficult cases, dogs with trauma that no one else wanted. It was overwhelming. But also, it was exactly what was supposed to happen. One mission had sparked a movement. On the anniversary of Marcus's death, Axel held a small ceremony at his cabin. He'd invited everyone who'd been part of Rex's journey. Dr. Reeves, Maria, Sarah Brennan, Tyler and Maya, a dozen other veterans Rex had helped. They gathered in the yard. Late afternoon, golden light through the pines. Axel had placed a memorial stone near where he'd buried the mother of Ash and Frost 2 years ago. The stone read, "Marcus Brennan, U.S. Army, Vietnam, and Danny Brennan, U.S. Army, K9. Handler, Afghanistan. Some missions never end." Sarah placed flowers, her hands shaking. "I wish I'd been there, at the end, like Rex was." Axel touched her shoulder. "You're here now. That's what matters." Rex stood beside the stone, looking at it. Danny's dog tag still hung from his collar, catching the light. "He knows," Sarah whispered. "Doesn't he? He knows what this means." "Yeah, he knows." Tyler spoke next, unplanned, but needing to. "A year ago I didn't think I'd make it, didn't want to. But then I met this dog." He gestured to Rex. "And he showed me something, that being broken doesn't mean being finished, that you can lose everything and still find a reason to keep going." He looked around at the gathered veterans. "We're all here because something broke us, but we're also here because we refuse to stay broken." Others nodded, murmured agreement. Maya added, "Rex didn't give up in the wilderness. Marcus didn't give up waiting, Danny didn't give up serving, and we don't get to give up either. Hoo-yah, someone said. Others echoed it. A military affirmation. A promise. We're still here, still fighting, still serving. Axel looked at his 3 dogs, Ash and Frost, his original rescue, his salvation, and Rex, the warrior who'd been lost and found, who'd completed his last mission and discovered a new one. These dogs saved my life, Axel said, each in their own way, and through them I found purpose, not just surviving, living, helping others do the same. He paused. Marcus's last mission wasn't just about finding Rex, it was about proving that no one is ever truly lost, that there's always a way back, always someone willing to search. He looked at Sarah. Your father and brother served with honor. Rex honors their memory every day, and every veteran we help, every dog we save, every mission we complete, that's their legacy continuing. Sarah wiped tears. Thank you. For everything. As the sun set and people began to leave, Rex walked to the memorial stone one more time, sat in front of it, looked at Danny's name, and did something Axel had never seen him do. He howled, not a distress howl, not a hunting howl, a goodbye howl, long, mournful, beautiful. The sound carried across the valley, through the pines, into the sky. Ash joined him, then Frost. 3 voices, 3 warriors, 3 survivors, singing for the fallen. When they finished, Rex stood, walked to Axel, leaned against his leg. Done, mission complete. That night, after everyone left, Axel sat on his porch. 3 dogs at his feet, the memorial stone visible in the moonlight. Marcus's flag folded inside. Danny's canine handler patch framed on the wall. We did it, Axel said softly. We completed the mission. Rex's tail thumped. But you know what? I don't think missions ever really end. We just find new ones. He thought about all the veterans still out there, struggling, lost, broken, all the dogs in shelters, traumatized, unwanted, waiting, all the Marcuses dying with unfinished business, all the Rexes alone in the wilderness. There's more work to do, always will be. Ash pushed his nose into Axel's hand. Frost rested his head on Axel's knee. Rex looked up with those wise, scarred eyes, and Axel understood. This was the work, not the end, the continuation. Because healing isn't a destination, it's a mission you carry forward, for yourself, for your pack, for those who come after. The Brennan Legacy Fund helped its 100th veteran. Rex, now 9 years old, was still working, slower, gray around the muzzle, but still showing up, still proving that broken doesn't mean finished. Axel's program had expanded. 3 other veterans running similar operations across Montana, dozens more starting nationwide. Sarah Brennan visited twice a year, finally at peace with her grief. Tyler was in his 2nd year of college, studying psychology, planning to work with veterans. Maya was now a certified canine handler, working with rescued military dogs. And every day, veterans found their way to Axel's cabin, looking for hope, finding dogs who understood, finding a man who'd been where they were, finding proof that the way back is possible. One afternoon, a truck pulled up. A young veteran stepped out, female, early 20s, haunted eyes. I heard about this place, about the dogs, about Rex. Axel smiled. Come on in. Rex walked over, sat in front of her, looked at her with those eyes that had seen everything and survived anyway. She knelt down, touched his scarred fur. They told me your story. How you were lost, how someone found you, how you came back. Rex's tail wagged slowly. Can you teach me? How to come back? Axel placed his hand on her shoulder. That's why we're here. Because Marcus had asked him to find one dog, and that mission had become a lifetime of finding lost souls and bringing them home. One veteran at a time, one dog at a time, one mission at a time. Some missions never end, they just become who you are. If this story moved you, we want you to know something. Marcus was real, Danny was real, veterans like them exist everywhere. And dogs like Rex, warriors who've served and been forgotten, are waiting in shelters right now. What you can do: like this video if you believe no veteran should face their battles alone. Comment below. Tell us about someone who never gave up on you, or someone you never gave up on. Subscribe to K9. Valor Stories, because Axel's journey continues and these stories need to be told. Share this with a veteran who needs to hear it. Support veteran K-9 programs in your area. These bonds save lives.